Alright, hey guys, we got this 2006 Suzuki Forenza, and we picked it up, got a hell of a deal on it, got it for 300 bucks. Haven't cleaned up the inside of it yet, but it's got power windows and a sunroof, air conditioning, cruise control. It's got about 150,000 miles on it. Like I said, we haven't cleaned it up yet. Hopefully we can shampoo the seats and stitch a little bit just to make it more presentable. I realize it is a Suzuki. We did take it to the car wash and clean it up because it had been sitting a while. Put new wipers on it. We even pressure washed the motor because it was, if anything, it was dusty and had some grease on it. We noticed coming out of here, this area was some bubbling when we were washing it, so I think the exhaust gaskets are leaking, and it makes a squealing noise when you start it, and it has no power, so when you stick it in gear and you try to drive it, it doesn't rev up past like 1,000 or something. I did replace this shift sensor thinking that might be the problem, but apparently that's not the problem. We did that yesterday, but that didn't fix it. Here, I'll let you hear it. I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. Now the key, I don't have the whole key. Hopefully it's not one of those cars that need to have, hear the squeal? Now there's no check engine lights on the dash, not at all, for some odd reason. You'd think there would be a check engine light. Hear that noise? It's kind of a squeal. And I don't see how I can manually rev this engine up from here. It doesn't seem to overheat, but there is some steam coming out the exhaust. That is steam, not smoke. It goes away. So that's a little bit concerning. Now inside the car, you can see, let's see if I can get my foot pedal here. I try to rev it up. It seems like it revs up only to 2,000. That's floored. That's holding the gas all the way to the floor. It doesn't get up over 2,000. You try to drive it down the road and it doesn't want to shift out of first gear, and I noticed it doesn't have any power to climb hills. It was quite a feat to get it up the driveway here. Now some sources say it is the throttle positioning sensor, which I think is this thing here, and I may try to explore that option and replace that. It's got some teeth over here on it too. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look into that a little bit, but maybe it is the throttle positioning sensor. Maybe it is a blown head gasket, but when you check the oil, usually if there's a blown head gasket, you're going to have milky oil. I just pressure washed it, but the oil shouldn't be very milky. No, the oil is not milky. As you can see, it's nice, crisp, clean oil. The radiator, which is this one here, is clean and green, and that's to be seen. So I'm not quite sure what it could be other than the throttle positioning sensor on the throttle body. We'd love to hear your suggestions, as long as your suggestions aren't derogative, like get a different car, Suzuki suck. Yeah, I've heard a lot of those comments and I think they're kind of funny, but yeah, I know. Nonetheless, it's still a car. It will get my father-in-law to work across town and back, we hope, once we get it fixed and it's not entirely too ugly. We have some other wheels to go on it. And my father-in-law says it's his favorite color, so that's great. I'm glad he likes the color. And did I mention we filled it full of fuel to make sure it wasn't low fuel pressure? That didn't seem to make any change in it whatsoever. The fuel cap is loose, as if it doesn't really click tight like normal fuel caps do. I don't know. I wouldn't think that has much to do with much, since there are no codes coming up on the dash when I hook up the OBD2 code reader onto it. It did take us a while to find the trunk release and the fuel cap release. The fuel cap release is down here. The trunk release is this button here. Kind of interesting. Power mirror buttons up here, which is kind of cool actually. The seats look like they fold forward for cargo, so you can get more longer items in there. That might come in handy. Haven't tried the radio. Push on. No, no, don't want to start it. The radio's not coming on. Must be a fuse. I haven't checked the fuses yet, so that is next on my list, is to check the fuses and see if any of them are blown. That'd be great if this problem was just a blown fuse.